This video is sponsored by Manscaped. Well, it's finally over. One of the most boring NHL draft lotteries has concluded, and we ended up with a result that really only saw 2 picks actually get moved around. Everything from the pre-draft stayed the same, except for Seattle and Anaheim, whose picks ended up being swapped. We have ourselves the final rankings for the 2021 draft, and I'm going to be going over here with a mock for you, talking about who could be taken at these spots and names that I think make a whole bunch of sense. Now, I will say right off the bat, I do feel kind of guilty for making this video, because just a week ago, we made ourselves another mock draft, a mock simulation mock draft, where we simulated the lottery 3 times, and we built a mock draft around that simulation. And this video is gonna have a few similar picks. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is not completely separate from that previous draft, but I will say, because of the nature of the 2021 draft, where you have a whole bunch of guys that could go anywhere, I think it's a little bit more easier to digest going over 2 straight mock drafts in a short succession. And a few of the modifications we did make for the mock draft were based off of the opinions of fans that I saw from these individual teams. So what we're going over here is a 1 to 16 range of Buffalo, Seattle, Anaheim, New Jersey, Columbus, Detroit, San Jose, LA, Vancouver, Ottawa, Arizona. Just kidding, not Arizona, for the sake of having things laid out properly. I have Arizona here at 11, but it will not count. Chicago afterwards, Calgary, Philadelphia, Dallas, and New York. Let's get our mock draft underway with the first overall pick. The Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from the University of Michigan Wolverines, Owen Power. Now, he went first overall in the previous mock draft too, and I think I've kind of just internally accepted that no matter who you value at this draft, no matter what it is you like or dislike about Owen Power, this guy's probably going to go first overall. Sam Constantino is talking about it, Craig Button's talking about it, Bob McKenzie's talking about it. He is the consensus first overall pick. You may disagree that he is not the best prospect in this draft, but at the end of the day, I think he's probably going to go first, so that's that. Interesting how the Sabres would go out there and take 2 left-handed defensemen to kick off the entry drafts in 2018 and in 2021, but Owen Power is the one that makes the most sense here. They won the first overall pick. They're probably going to take him. Second overall, it belongs to the Seattle Kraken, and they're going to take themselves from the University of Michigan Wolverines, Matty Beniers. Yes, I'm sticking faithful to the Beniers to Seattle pick, because when it comes to building a brand new franchise, I think it makes the most sense to go out there with this kind of player as that franchise starter. Yes, you're going to get other players in the expansion draft. Yes, you're going to get other picks and prospects. It's inevitable. But having a number 1 two-way center that can be so relied upon in any situation like Matty Beniers could be seen as an extraordinarily important pickup. And the fact that Matty Beniers could go as high as number 1 in some people's minds makes him a pretty good candidate for second overall. The third overall pick belongs to the Anaheim Ducks, and they're going to be taken from the SHL, William Eklund. And yes, we're straying from Simon Edvinsson. They could very well take Edvinsson, but according to the Anaheim Ducks fans that I have seen, Bob Murray's got himself a really interesting strategy in these drafts, and the Anaheim Ducks are in a position where, hey, they could use some more skill in their forward core. Trevor Zegras is great, but Trevor Zegras is Trevor Zegras. Imagine Trevor Zegras and William Eklund together. Eklund's a really skilled, really aware, offensively capable forward who outscored some really good top prospects in last year's NHL draft, this year in the SHL. This guy's got point-producing machine written all over him. Furthermore, this seems like the guy that a lot of Anaheim Ducks fans that I have seen particularly want, so let's go with Eklund at third overall. Let's make things interesting, eh? How about it? The fourth overall pick belongs to the New Jersey Devils, and they're going to be taking Luke Hughes. I mean, when you have the NHL and the New Jersey Devils themselves actually promoting the Jack Hughes quote where he says, yeah, I want them to take Luke, he's a good player, I have a hard time believing they wouldn't do it, you know? If New Jersey has a chance at drafting Luke, I think they'd take it. And it seems like a lot of Devils fans are in that same boat too. Before we go over to the 5th pick and beyond, a word from our sponsor for today's video. It is Manscaped. We have some big breaking news. This important PSA is brought to you by the folks over at Manscaped, because the best new trimmer is now on the market, the Lawnmower 4.0, which is available for purchase in the USA and Canada. The new trimmer was just released only moments ago, and we are one of the first to get our hands on it and share the news. What makes this trimmer different than all the others? A new multi-function on and off switch that has a travel lock for one, a 4000K LED spotlight, and full customization with additional guard length sizes 1 through 4. It's waterproof and it's got wireless charging. Hey, Father's Day is coming up, maybe the Weed Whacker will fit your needs instead, the best nose and ear hair trimmer on the market. Maybe some cologne too, who knows? Get 20% off and free shipping with code LEGOROCKS99 at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off and free shipping with the code LEGOROCKS99. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Next up, the 5th overall pick belongs to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they are proud to select from the Slovakian Pro League Brandt Clarke. Yeah, they're taking Clarke in this one, and the reason for that is because Brandt Clarke is an offensively gifted, potentially #1 elite right-handed defenseman who can score you a whole bunch of points with his passing in the offensive zone, and if you're going to go out there as a Columbus Blue Jackets team that might lose your #1 right-handed defenseman in Seth Jones, hey, why not get the guy who's going to replace him in this entry draft right away? With the 6th overall pick, Steve Yzerman is selecting Simon Edvinsson. And, who would have figured? In 2018, 6th overall Philip Zadina. In 2019, 6th overall Moritz Seider. In 2020, it's 4th overall, it's Lucas Raymond. But, hey, they're going with another European here. They're proud to select Simon Edvinsson. He's a big, lanky, left-handed defenseman who plays his best when the puck is not on his stick. He reads the play well, he moves extraordinarily well, and when he does have the puck, hey, he's not afraid to bust out a move or two. With the 7th overall pick, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Jesper Wallstedt, the goalie. Yeah, so this is actually one I didn't expect. When I went over to the San Jose Sharks subreddit and I looked at who exactly they wanted their team to take, a big chunk of them were talking about the guys that I've already selected in this draft. It's Beniers, it's Eklund, it's Brandt, Clarke, whatever. But Jesper Wallstedt is the other name that I kept on seeing. And in fact, it got to the point where I started thinking about it and I was like, yeah, they could use a nice, elite, franchise potential goaltender prospect, so why not take him at 7 when he's in a position where he probably could be one of the best goaltenders we see in a very long time. With the 8th overall pick, the LA Kings are coming in here and selecting Dylan Guenther. Now, I know the Kings have a ton of forward prospects already, but a good chunk of this fan base believes that they're going to go out there and get another forward if they don't end up taking that goaltender. It's interesting, but it seems to be a very apparent notion amongst the fan base that I saw, at least on Reddit. So we're going with the top WHL prospect in this year's draft. 2 points per game, a goal a game guy, really good offensive talent. We'll see how he meshes in LA with all the other really good offensively capable forwards they have. Now I will say from here on out, the rest of the draft is similar to what we had before. It's almost exactly the same. There's one little change, though, that I think you're going to want to stick around for. So if you haven't seen our previous video, then go ahead and check that out if you want to see a full scoop. We'll briefly go over things once again over here, but with the 9th overall pick, the Vancouver Canucks are selecting from the University of Michigan, Kent Johnson. A guy whom Craig Button labeled as a player comparable for Elias Pettersson. Johnson himself is a dangly guy, and he says his favorite player in the NHL is Elias Pettersson. This is a guy who, if he hits his stride, he could become a very strong point producer if everything goes right, and that's probably the big thing, if everything goes right. The 10th overall pick belongs to the Ottawa Senators, and a lot of people seem to like the idea of Mason McTavish. It's the same pick we had before. He's coming over here, very strong two-way center. This guy embodies everything it is in order to being able to just understand the game. He knows how to make plays, he knows how to read defensive rushes, and he's pretty good at the U18s as well. He put his stock to his name over here, and as a result, he's going 10th overall to Ottawa. The 11th overall pick is forfeited because the Arizona Coyotes did illegal stuff. Now it is 12th overall. The Chicago Blackhawks are still selecting Fabian Lysell, a top Swede in this draft who's got a pretty good motor, really good energy towards the game. If he rounds out these offensive tools that he has, then he could be a very dangerous force at the NHL level and could be a sneaky pick towards being a very contributing factor to a Chicago Blackhawks forward core in the future. The 13th overall pick belongs to the Calgary Flames, and they're taking from the NTDP, Chaz Lucius. Yes, we're still making the same picks over here. He's a guy who's a goal scorer in the NTDP, really good finishing ability, among some of the best in this draft. This guy just knows how to put the puck in the net wherever he is on the ice, and as a result, he's going 13th overall to the Calgary Flames. The next pick up Also a similar mold, 14th overall, it's Cole Sillinger. I had him here last time, but a whole bunch of Flyers fans that I saw were actually really on board with that. So we're keeping things the way they are right here. Sillinger is the top shot in this draft, in my opinion. Absolutely lethal goal-scoring ability from anywhere on the ice because his wrist shot is so great. He could be a really good piece for a Philadelphia Flyers offensive core in the next few seasons if you allow him to develop his game away from the puck as well as refining those tools that he has. The 15th overall pick belongs to the Dallas Stars, and they're still taking Aatu Raty. Yeah, I'm going out here and saying that Raty could be drafted 15th overall. He was supposed to be first overall in this draft, but a weak season this year pushed him down the draft boards like crazy. However, I still do believe he does have that talent to become a really strong NHL contributor in a super efficient two-way center kind of style. You just kind of have to dig it out of him. And now with the final pick, the technically 16th overall pick, but also kind of just being labeled as the 15th overall pick, the New York Rangers are going to select nobody, because they're going to be trading the pick for Jack Eichel. Yeah, baby, let's go! This is one of the only picks where when I was trying to look up what Rangers fans would want, like, the majority of them were all saying the same thing. Okay, we're not going to pick anybody, right? We're going to trade it because we want Eichel, right? We're going to trade this pick. We're not going to use it. We're going to get a center out of this pick. And you know what? Because it's a mock draft, screw it. Let's say they're going to do that. They're going to trade the pick, they're going to get Jack Eichel or whoever it is, and they're going to be on their way because whatever team goes out there at 15th overall can take a Bolduc or a Leroux or a Robertson or a Rosen or whoever it is, because there are other prospects in this draft. And if you want to check it out, you can go over to Elite Prospects. They have great scouting reports, great numbers to visualize every single one of the guys that we have spoken about here. But this is our final mock draft for the 2021 NHL Draft. We're going to be doing another one of these, I think, maybe, I'm not sure, after the actual playoffs conclude. So we're going to have all 31 teams. Oh man, 32 teams, excuse me. Is that even a thing we want to do? I don't know. Am I capable of doing that? I really have no idea. We'll find out in a few months, I guess. Talk to me in the comments what you think about our entry draft over here. What are your thoughts on the players, the picks, and the destinations? I hope you enjoyed this video. Rosen 99. Check out Manscaped. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a very great product. And bye.